Good morning, Amy. You look beautiful. How are you? Oh, I can't hear you.
Here I am.
How are you?
Okay. My friend Anna's on from Florida.
Yay!
She's in the warm and we're in the cold, but we'll be back soon.
Yes. Good to see you.
Yay.
So should we get started then? I know that
Yeah.
I think Chandini is not going to make it today, and Stacy should be hopefully jumping in soon. And other Sparks are going to be jumping in as well. Any interest? First, I want to welcome you all, and nice to see everyone who's already in our flower tribe. Welcome. And this is the flower we've named it, or I've named it the Sacred Yes, the flower of the Sacred Yes. And I named it that because when I joined this community, it was a full body sacred yes. It was like, I was just in. It made so much sense to me. I think it'd be really fun to go around and just share a little bit about like people who are in the flower, what their experience has been like, and so that these newcomers can have another understanding or how it works. And I can pull up the diagram to explain exactly the logistics so we can answer all your questions. But why don't we just get started with someone just chiming in and just tell them their experience. Who would like to start?
Awesome, I'll start. Good morning. Hi, guys. I'm Andrea, and I'm a friend of Fiona's, and early in September, she told me about this flower, and I don't think really you needed to finish telling me. I was like mid-sentence, I was like, oh yeah, I'm in. And yeah, and I have been in and experiencing, it was like almost, I would say, maybe it was like hours after I said yes, somebody gave me a check for $350. Like, cause I was like, oh, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, and things just started to happen. And I think almost just saying yes really made me more aware of how we exist in this ecology unbeknownst to ourselves. Like we exist in it emotionally and physically, and yeah, I don't know. So it's just made a lot of sense to me. I am in the position right now of Earth, and I am really finding legs there. I've wanted community for so long in my life, and but I've done a lot of this. And so I have been opening to this abundance of expressing myself and being what I feel is available for other people and encouraging other people. And yes, it's been so much more than, getting to, 777s or snake eyes or like pulling the lever and like, woo! It's been so much more. And yeah, I don't know. So that's what I have to say today. I'm really glad to see everybody's face. Welcome, Don or Donald? Well, we'll get more.
It's Donald.
Donald. Okay, I wasn't sure. I wanted to call you Donnie. No, I didn't.
That's what my folks call me.
Donald and Anna, thank you so much for taking the time to come and join us. Really.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I'm so glad to see new faces, and I know that just your showing up here is the beginning of something on your journey that's wonderful, whether you stay with us or not. So thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving.
Sure. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Thank you.
I'll jump in and go next. So, it being Thanksgiving time, I'm in two different groups, two different flowers right now. And one, I'm actually in the receiving. And I've mentioned before that of all the 4 phases, which again, we'll probably cover that in a minute, but you go through 4 phases here and each one is its own lesson. And when I was able to give, I was really, really cool with that. It was easy. I've done it all my life. I've given, and no boundaries, and I give, and I just keep doing that. And then someone invited me into something like this, where not only I give, which was like, yeah, I'm in, I didn't realize how uncomfortable it would be to receive. And so now I'm receiving another group, and it was a little uncomfortable. Now I'm really enjoying that. You know, I'm getting more comfortable with it. And it was because of a group like this that I was able to realize that this isn't just like woo-woo stuff. Because I'll be honest with you, when I was hearing about the phases when I was first invited, and I was a hell yes immediately just because of the person who invited me, my friend Rudy. You know, some of the words I was hearing from some people in the flower currently is, I was like, all right, more woo-woo stuff. But admittedly, everything they actually said is true. It's not just woo-woo. There are lessons in every single pathway or every single phase of this, both with the spark, with the fire, being the fire and breathing in, and then air, inviting others to bring in, and then earth, which is holding space for the group, and answering questions, and being here to support the water, support Fiona, and then being the receivers. One of the things I wanted to share today, I've said this before, is, and it's so funny because I'm such a planner. Like every single time I've been part of conversations, I'm kind of a really heady person, analytical, business-minded. I'm always thinking about business. And over time, that can be a little like too much in the head. And one of the things I always did is I always thought, well, if I'm going to be in a group meeting, I'd better write my notes down so I can make sure I know what to say. And I have to say, one of the most beautiful pieces to this, and I just realized this morning when I was thinking about our call today, I never ever feel like I have to write anything down or have something to say. Every single time I come into this group, I am fed, and whatever needs to come just comes. And that, for me, I mean, that might not sound like a big deal to you all, but for me, that's a massive deal. Amy knows that's a massive deal for me. But one of the last thing I wanted to say is, you think you know what you're going to get when you join one of these groups, but I promise you're going to get way more than you bargained for. Way more than you bargained for. That's all I want to say, because it's a beautiful thing. It's in a good thing. So thanks, Donald, for being here, and it's good to see the other face, Anna. I think Anna is the name. Blessings to you all, and I'm going to be quiet now, but thanks everybody for showing up today. It's good to see your faces.
Thank you, Charlie, and thank you, Andrea, for sharing your experience, strength, and hope. Does anybody else want to share a little bit?
I'll share.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm really thankful for these flowers, and it's not just like there's a structure to it, right? Like we gift, and then we go through these phases, and then we get this really big gift at the end. But like the fact that we check in with each other every single week, and just like it's really hitting me today for some reason, especially maybe because holidays can be challenging. And here I am with this group of people, and I trust these people with my life, like even the ones I don't know that well yet, because we all come to the table open and vulnerable. And when people are that way, it makes me feel safe. When people show up without the masks and just show up, it makes my nervous system relax. It lets me drop in. So I really, with being around a lot of family and being in an area of the country that's much more dense and heavy and zombie-like, being on this call today, I mean, I didn't even realize it so much until I got here and you started talking and I landed, that I'm so grateful for it. But just to see your faces, and they're familiar, and I know your hearts are open. It's such a gift to me, guys. It's such a gift. And I've talked to some of you independently, and we do that too for the newbies. You know, this community is not just like to show up once a week. I mean, that's the minimum, but like sometimes we reach out to each other in the in-between, and I've done that recently to people in this group, and they've been there in a really big way. And you know, when you need someone to really hear you and hold space for you, it's not just anyone you can reach out to, right? It's not just your neighbor or whatever. So that today, I just want to express that that's really, really, really special to me. And Angela is going to she's going to come visiting soon. I think she's going to be with us on Christmas, so she's going to be our family on Christmas. And again, that is just like a dream for me. I feel like I'm living a dream. Every time I'm on this call, it feels like a dream. Every time I, in person or remotely, like with Fiona, connect, it feels like a dream, because it's a dream that I've been dreaming for a really long time, but it was just a dream. It's just like a philosophy. And now we're actually living community. And then the fact that there is financial abundance involved, that there is gifting involved, and that the other thing that's been happening for me over the course of the last couple years, ever since I had a car accident and couldn't really go back to work all the way, is that, you know, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a different way than this matrix way of like working really hard and being so dependent on a job or a business to have money. And then this flower shows up, and I think to myself, like, why didn't I think of that? That's just so genius, you know, like, and so then you're receiving and giving money to these beautiful souls that show up, and you know what you're giving to you and you're receiving from them. It's just huge. It's just huge for me. And I just thank every single one of you for being here today. And I love you. And thanks for coming, Anna. She's in my community in Florida. She has a little boy. She's a single mom with a little boy who's just so precious and awake. And when I first got to Florida, like, how did we meet, Anna? Like, she put a message on Facebook and was like, hey, I'm going kayaking. Does anyone want to go? Anyone want to go? And I was new to Florida. I'm like, I want to go. You know, like, didn't even really know her. And I show up, and then we're just friends. And then we're just like, yeah, and I'll let her share about herself. But Anna, I'm grateful for you too. I know we don't see each other much in person because you know, she's a nurse and she's really busy with her little boy. But like, this is an excuse for us to see each other more, right? If nothing else on the.
Yeah, love it. It's perfect. This is really great so far.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for inviting me.
Yep.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you so much, Amy. You touched upon just that, just really resonated. It's the same, like when I realized I could not continue to go on and on the way it's been going on and on. And then when this came about, I was like tears in my eyes, like this is the answer. And the experience of just even doing this for a few months now, it's just been like, I feel so supported, so held, like faith that all the needs are going to be met. Like, again, the hustle, that word is like dissolving. And that to me is the biggest paradigm shift in doing this. And to be working with other like-minded, super conscious people who are wanting the same vision is really powerful, so powerful. And I love how it's all over the US, now we're going overseas, you know, like we're just like going to take over the globe. This is so exciting. And bringing in people that we really love and adore. And I do think that the flower has an intelligence of its own. Like it says, the people who say yes to it, it has to be a synergistic match. It's not for everybody. And that's okay. But the people that just say yes to, it's like, I mean, it's really tremendous. It's tremendous. Does Mariah or Angela want to say hi real quick, and then we'll go into like how the flower works, and we'll answer your questions.
Yeah, I had two thoughts that came up today. First of all, okay, so yeah, I was also a hell yes when I saw this. I instantly thought, this is my language. These are my people. And I feel like in the last few months, I've really been trying to find my people, because I just, I've been in that place where I'm like, not all of us are seeing the world the same way. I mean, we never really can, but, that lonely feeling of like, wait, why do I see it this way? Like, am I crazy? Like, what's going on? And then, I start realizing like, oh, my good friend Fiona is like kind of on my page with the way things are going and where we need to go in this world and how it should be for us, for like-minded people. And so when this showed up in my life, I was just like, oh yeah, this is what I've been wanting. This is what I've been needing. And these are my people. And it's been such a blessing to just have this connection with my people, my kind of people. So yeah, that's been one of those gifts that's come in. And I think Charlie was saying, there's so much more than just the financial gifting that goes on here. And every week I feel like there's something new, but this week in particular, well, a few hours ago I was on a coffee date with my husband, and I was just like going crazy. I was like, I just feel like ever since I've been part of this, I just see like that the possibilities are endless. Like there's just possibilities in life. I can do anything, like anything is possible. And I was just like going crazy on that. And then he was probably like, okay, a little too much coffee. But I mean, that was for real. That was me today. That was the thought of the week that I had. I was like, look what came with this flower of abundance. Like, I just see abundance everywhere in my life. I just feel that, anything is possible and I could do anything. And like, this is a way to also allow more possibilities into your life, like our friends who, don't want to stand there doing, hair every day, like Fiona, or, trading their time for money in a way, that's like, oh, I need that next gig and that next gig and that next gig. This is going to open you up to so much opportunity, travel. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to start making a list of all the things I'm going to do that I kind of let go for a little while. I decided I'm going to start making a list of like, those things I need to bring back, that like all those dreams that I had that I kind of thought maybe not now. I'm like, oh, it's looking like that's going to be able to come into my life sooner than I thought. So that's where I am right now. Those are the two things that I've just been feeling this week. So I wanted to share that, but welcome. And yeah, happy Thanksgiving, all that stuff.
So beautiful. I love that. Making a list and remembering our dreams. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Do you want to share, Angela?
Yeah. Thank you, Mariah. Beautiful. I'm pretty new still here. I feel I'm still getting to know people. And I just wanted to share quickly how grateful I am. Yesterday we had a Thanksgiving dinner in my house in Germany because I'm living, I have housemates, and one of them spent a good time of their upbringing in the United States, and she has an American friend here in Germany. And so this is how this all came about. And we actually introduced our German friends and one of my daughters to that celebration. And we had such a beautiful evening with, I don't know, it kind of all came together spontaneously, effortlessly, so much in flow, and there was so much love, tangible love, and everyone was just, it felt like everyone was bathing in this gratitude, and it was so powerful as an counterpart to what we're experiencing right now in the outside world. And that's one thing that I wanted to share. And the other thing is that I got, Stacy got in touch with me the other day, and we got together on a call. And this to me came as a surprise, and I really loved it because I was able to, just ask my questions, because I came to this whole thing by just trusting. I didn't know much about it. I roughly flew over the material that I was presented with, or to, I don't know how to say it correctly. I just knew I could trust Amy, so I jumped in, and yeah, I'm feeling my way through, and I'm very grateful I feel very much in a receiving position at the moment, to be honest, although I'm just a fire. And yeah, so that's where I'm at, and I guess I'm kind of sorry, I'm looking for a word, confirming several things that have been mentioned already. So yeah, thank you all for showing up. It's precious, especially right now, and I'm really looking forward to get to know you better and meet on a weekly basis. I feel that's very, very helpful. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you so much, Angela. So beautifully said. So just for clarity, Donald and Anna, did you guys get any of the material? Did you get a breakdown of how it works?
Yes, this is Donald here.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've received some info from Charlie some weeks back about it. So yeah, I'm at the stage where I'm just learning about it, learning others, hearing about others' testimonies about it, and what's things that happen in their lives and how to go on it. So this is the informational stage. So I'm just gathering this information and just looking at my options.
Wonderful.
So I just look forward to hearing your testimonies and how everything, how things work and things like that.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay, wonderful. How about you, Anna?
I did receive some information. I got started on it, but I admit I have not read through everything. So I'm just looking forward to learning whatever I can today. And I'm just very grateful to have been invited to this.
Awesome. Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. So I'm going to share the screen, and I'm just going to open up just like how the flower works, or the flower in motion, basically. And so as you guys have heard, this is what it looks like, a little mandala, a flower. There are 4 different elements. There's the fire, there's the wind, air element, the earth, and water. And when you start off as a fire, that's when you come in and you take a fire position, and this becomes your home flower. So whoever's in water, and when you enter, is your home flower, and that's me. So if you guys decided to join this particular flower, I would be your water position, and I would be your home flower. And so you're going to travel from we'll follow, I guess, Pamela down here. Pamela came in as a fire. Then next week she would move into air. She would bring her 2 fires. Then she would move into earth, and where her 2 fires would become her 2 airs. And then she would become water. So it's a 4-week cycle, technically. And as you can see, this is a little how it works too, as people are just continuing to rotate and to rotate and rotate. Every position has its, I guess how I say it is like its requirements, I guess, or I don't know if that's a better word. Someone can jump in and help any second. But like for a fire, when you come in, it's really just to celebrate and be in fire. There's really nothing really to do. You come in and you bring in your gift, and you gift the person in water. And then as you move into the air position, that is your opportunity to blow in a couple of fires for yourself. So that's when you have these 2 sacred invitations that you give to people. And it really is like what I mentioned before. It is a sacred yes or a sacred no. And we're not here to convince anyone about it. It's either a yes or a no. And but we found that people, yeah, well, I guess I should say I have found there's this really specific type of person who just gets this. And so I've been leaning more in that direction of people who would understand this. So when you bring in your 2 fires, that's pretty much your responsibility as your wind position. So when you move into earth, that's when we're really grounding down, holding space for your 2 airs. And that's when you would be like kind of more of a mentor, supporting that everything stays in flow. You can support the water with like what their needs are. You can also support like, you know, the weekly calls just to show up and to be there. It's a really like an anchoring down position. And then in water is where then you are now receiving, you're in receivership for these 8 fires, 8 new possibilities that come in. And in my experience of water, it's been quite lovely. It really has been quite easy for the most part. Ideally, what we'd like to do is to get on a weekly cycle. That is the goal, so that every week, you know, we find these fires and then we rotate and then we continue to go. And so every month you should be cycling through from fire to water in a month time. Sometimes it takes a little longer to catch all of our fires. So it might push out to a week or 2, but it's ideally it's a 1-week cycle. Anything else? Anybody else want to add?
Fiona, I think what everybody, or what I wanted to know, most people, when they come in, they're like, how do I? So you give a $500 gift when you come in as a fire, that goes to Fiona.
That's
and
right.
then you're like, how do I end up with $4,000 when I get gifted?
Yeah.
So as you're looking at the flower, the way you get $4,000 is you can see there's 8 fires. So 8 people are gifting you $500.
Right.
So it doesn't come in all at once. It's like as each fire comes in, they send you a gift of $500.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share it with you guys, actually, our flower and the positions that are open at the moment. Stand by while I find, there it is, the image. Okay. So right now, sorry, there it is. Here we go. So right now, this is our flower at the moment. And if you would put a line right between my name, it would be basically the flower would split in 2 and you would have a northern hemisphere and a southern hemisphere. So as you can see, the southern hemisphere is almost filled with the fire position. So we've got Andrea, Angela, and Jaja, and we have another space down here on the lower left. And then up above, we have Mariah and Charlie, who are our wind positions, and we've got 1, 2, 3 fires left to be filled. So yes, as you come in, you would be gifting your 500 to me, the person in water, and then we would rotate. Once this flower is complete, then we would split down the middle and create 2 new flowers, where Andrea would now be water and Stacy would be water, and then their airs would turn into earth, and their 4 fires would turn into air, and then those airs will bring in 8 flames, 8 fires. Did I do well with that?
Yeah, I think that the easiest way to imagine this is, like you're saying, just if you want to imagine it, like if you take a pair of scissors and cut the top from the bottom, and you just look at the lower hemisphere, you'd see Stacy now in a new flower of her own. She is the water. Yeah. Then you see Chandini and Amy, who are the current heirs, they would become her earths. And then you see Andrea, Angela, Jaja, and then whoever's going to take that other spot, they would be the new heirs. So that would be a brand new flower that formed. And the same thing happens with that northern hemisphere. And then as you can see, those 4 fires that I just said there, Andrea, Angela, Jaja, and the other, they would now be inviting 2 new fires to come in.
Yes.
So that's kind of how the cycle works. And for me, when I was new, that's something I needed to grasp because I wanted to know how this thing kept being able to recycle. And one more thing I'll say here is the beautiful thing about this is, and really the goal for me, at least, when I'm, if I want to create this type of residual influx of abundance, if I go into water and I receive, so after Fiona receives her $4,000, the following week, she could technically join a new flower as a fire and start recycling back in again to a new fresh flower. And what happens is those people that she brought in originally, the following week could technically recycle right back in as her fire. So you could see yourself recycling out and right back into a fresh flower. Through the 4 cycles, out and right back into a fresh flower. And you could technically have those who came with you continue to come with you if that's what they choose to do. So that's how you would see the potential to seeing residual recycled abundance just continuing to happen. And the fire continues to burn all the way through to a new flower.
And we're basically just passing money around, gifting it around and around and around. Like it's not coming from anywhere. It's just to each other, to each other, to each other. I love it.
Yeah, we have our elder here, Alice Calsa. She just came on. Hi, honey.
Hi, guys. Hi, everybody.
I will share this other part of, I do like this, where it does show the geometrics of how when we break the flower down again and again and again. So if you were to imagine this like flower here on the far left, that's a complete flower. Then you can see it splits down the middle and it'll create 2 new flowers. And then this one will split down the middle and create 4 flowers, and it will split down the middle again and create, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 flowers. So each cycle, this one here, let's say this would be, you'd be here in fire, and then you would split here, and then you would enter in air here, split this flower, you would be earth in this flower, split again, and then you would be in water. And then when you complete as water, then you technically rotate back to your fire position in your home flower. And this is the only real traveling you'll have to do with these people in these flowers. So, so everyone's like, well, how many more people do we need? Well, we don't. Once you have your 4 flowers completed from your fire to your water, that's it. And then you just go right back to your home flower and recycle again and again and again, as long as you like. But I love this little diagram because it really does break down how the flowers break down. Does anybody have any other questions, Amy or Anna?
Nothing that I can think of at the moment.
Okay, cool. Donald, how's it sounding?
I'm gathering it all in.
Okay, I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good. So yeah, so actually it's really interesting because Alice mentioned this last week to us, how in essence, since it's a circular, like a circular type of momentum, it's not like going into a pyramid. It's a circular type of thing. We all rotate. Everyone changes positions. There's no one really in charge, and it's really brought the community is what holds it together throughout each of the cycles. And then Alice said that eventually at the end, like it turned into a torus, right? Do you want to talk about that?
Sure. Do you have that graphic by chance?
Boy, let me
Fiona?
see. I'll have to open it while you talk about it.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
I do. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
We'll pull that up. And welcome. It's great to be with all of you. My name is Alice, and I'm my husband and I, once I moved into water, it was kind of amazing. On 11/11, Charlie, that's here now, was actually my last fire to help me complete in water. Fiona was my earth. And then I moved into eldership in her flower. And in the midst of moving into water, my husband and I also moved into our new home. So it's been an amazing but wild ride the last 2 weeks, but it's been incredible. And it's been a quantum truly a quantum up leveling in terms of prosperity and abundance and flow. And we were talking last week, so I just want to welcome everybody that's in the flower and all the sparks. And I love you, Fiona. And Fiona has in so many ways just been somebody in my life that has been so supportive and giving, and to get to see her in receiving is a really, really beautiful thing. And so I honor you in water and celebrate you. And let's see, this is, oh yeah, the explanation about the toroidal, and the name was a little hard for me to say, toroidal field was so helpful. So something that's really beautiful, thank you for that, is the shape, the geometric shape that this is making as more and more flowers bloom in the gardens is actually the shape that Fiona is showing here. And when we talk about moving into 5D reality, this is what we're talking about. This is the heart of sacred economics, is this geometry, the sacred geometry that's being created. And the shape that makes this in the universe is actually the electromagnetic field of the heart, which is what's so beautiful. And this is also the energetics that the earth is running, this toroidal field. And so as more and more and more people start this thing starts blooming and blooming and blooming, this is the shape that it takes on geometrically. So if your mind is trying to understand it, know that it's something that you may be feeling on a heart level, but your mind may be trying to figure it out logically and being like, wait, I don't know if I get this. How does the math work? And I think what we're all experiencing is truly a quantum leap in prosperity and in abundance. And so this shape really symbolizes that quantum leap. And this is what's taking us from a paradigm of greed and deep, deep human suffering into a space where everybody can win. And 98% of the world's wealth is in the hands of 2% of the population. So the egregious, thank you, Amy, the egregious disharmony in the wealth dynamic in this world is in large part, I believe, why there is just egregious amounts, unfathomable amounts of suffering. And this economic opportunity is moving us into a model that's actually sustainable, that actually helps to reorganize, recalibrate wealth into a flow that is built in the laws of the universe, right? In the frequency of the heart, the frequency of Mother Earth. And so when you're making this decision, like, does this feel right for me? Something that's helpful is to really listen to your body and say, how does this feel when I hear about this, right? Because Fiona will always say this, her body knew before her mind did, right? Around different things. But when you hear about sacred economics, and I encourage you all to check out Charles Eisenstein, we can put it in the chat, his conversation around sacred economics and gifting economy. When you hear about this, how does it feel in your body? How does it feel? And then just know that the mind may have to do some catch up, because so often our mind is based in survival, you know, and we're rewiring our minds for abundance and infinite possibility. And I can just tell you, in every area of my life since I've been doing this, my life has been blooming, but like in quantum ways, it's been happening like that. And I've experienced more abundance, I think, in this last 6 months, 3 to 6 months, than I ever have in my life. And it's not just an abundance of money, it's an abundance of community. It's an abundance of spiritual awakening, love. And then the material is just a reflection of all of that. So I love you guys, and welcome to everybody that's new. And this community really is here for you, just to answer questions, feel supported, feel seen, and also just a space where, like, your shit's going to come up. Your shit is going to come up because we are challenging a system that's actually interwoven in our fabric. So I almost feel like part of this, part of the flower is actually all like unplugging from a matrix. And it's an initiation process. It takes time. So you can always bring your questions, your fears, your truth, and everything to this flower. and we're here with you, but not just here with you like, oh, namaste. Like, we're here with you in the shit, and we're here with you in the joy and the celebration. So it's a beautiful community, and I'm just so happy to be a part of it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful. That was incredible. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So eloquent in how you describe things. Really appreciate it. Oh, beautiful. Thank you for sharing. So Mariah put in the video from Charles Eisenstein, The Secret Economics. If you have not seen it, it's fantastic. I highly recommend just copying and pasting it and watching it. And then actually our beloved Charlie did an amazing video just breaking down the flower and how all the elements work. We can also send that to you too. We highly recommend it. Again, it takes some time to like rinse, lather, and repeat, you know, to watch it over and over to understand the mechanics, to let that, you know, that side of the brain get fed. Is there anything else we'd like to share?
Actually, I have to say something here. I got chills up and down, Alice, as you shared what you just shared. Because breaking away from, or should I say, allowing ourselves to break free from the idea of everybody's separate, and that's just how it is. Isn't it true? Well, for me, I've seen how so many people live this way. I have lived this way. If I'm going to receive something, I've got to do it for myself. And that comes from the mentality of the belief system that I myself, you're yourself, there's no connection, but you're a reflection of me. I'm you. And the beautiful thing about that image you just shared is, for me, it's almost like it's a remembrance of the fact that when I gift, I'm gifting myself. And when the flower splits, it's coming all the way back around to home. It's coming all the way back around to the self. It's coming all the way back around to the remembrance of you are me and I'm you. And the separation can't exist. Well, at least I should say that the ability to see it as separation and separate it in my mind is a lot more difficult. It flip-flops at that point because I start seeing the unity in all of it. And you know, Alice, when you said that's why we see a lot of what we're seeing today as far as like just famine and things like that, that truly is separation. We have created this fabric of separation instead of this fabric of unity. And I think that, wow, I mean, like, that's the reason why I got chills, because that really came into my body when you said that. And for me, it's really helpful because I have felt all alone for a big chunk of my life. I've always had people around me, but I've always felt alone. And so I have made that, I've continued to make that happen in my life. I still have people around me, even in my partnership with Amy. I now am starting to see through what you just said, how I have continued to, oh, wait, I'm in relationship, but that person oftentimes feels alone and I feel alone because I have continued to create that based in my belief system of separation. So, you know, that is just like an explosion for me. You know, that's just an explosion. And that's not something that's going to just happen overnight. You know, even after today, after I've just had this complete insight, but I had to share that. And I just thank you, Alice, for, yeah, yeah, I know, Amy, right? Thank you, Alice, for sharing that, because I'm like almost in tears right now. So it's awesome.
That's so wonderful. Thank you for sharing, Charlie. Thank you so much. And it's interesting, and I really love how you talk about just how, you know, our shit comes up. It has to. In order for us to break through this to this other paradigm, we have to like face some of the things that have kept us stuck. And you know, that's what we call in this flower like the medicine, right? And in each element, you might come into some medicine for yourself. But that, you know, to me, like the only way out is through. So if you stay and you work through it and you work through it in community and in support, you can have that paradigm shift and another experience. And that's definitely been my experience in doing this with you guys. It's been really tremendous and transformational. It's not transactional, it's transformational. I love that. If anybody else wants to say anything or jump on or have any questions, if not, we can complete.
Yeah, I know I've already said this. Thank you, Donald, for being here. My intention here for you was just to feel and see what I was sharing with you. And there's no attachment whatsoever. I felt, I really want to thank you for being here, because I know that you have felt what I was talking about now. Donald's a friend of mine. And so I wanted him to, mostly I wanted to experience this community. So I'm really pumped that he showed up. And Anna, thank you so much too. So before I got off here, I wanted to say that. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you very much, Charlie. Yeah, I look forward to learning more about this.
Thank you so much.
You bet. You bet. This is so exciting. New possibilities. Well, I'm getting a sense that we are complete. So I think we're going to transition and just close out. And if someone would like to just do a nice little chant or om or prayer or something like that, I always love to close out with just a little loving intention. And again, thank you so much for coming in, Anna and Donald. Take your time, think about it if it resonates with you. We will have this recording if you want to watch this again, if you wanted to catch something like that again. And just reach out to the people that invited you and let them know what your thoughts are.
Thank you so much. I really
Got it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Got it. Of course. Alice, do you mind?
Sure. Yeah, I'm happy to. And Anna and Donald, there is a really beautiful informational PDF. There's Charles Eisenstein link. There's several things that we can make sure you're resourced with. I will add them in our group me chat for our whole group, and then they can be dispersed kind of as needed. And I've been guided to say that so I'm in water, I'm receiving in another flower, I'm in 2 flowers. And I have one woman who just joined as fire, and she's been doing, been working in the flower, playing in the flowers, evolving all the things for about 3 years now. And she's in a lineage that's in Brazil. It's now in Brazil, Spain, I think, and Africa. And there's over 60,000 people that they call it dream weaving with. And it's really incredible to hear her speak about this, right? And I just wanted to speak to that we're at a tipping point, with human consciousness right now. And the more we can come together in collective consciousness to create a new possibility of where we want this earth and planet to go and who we want to be as human beings, it's available. And this flower, I came in it for the money. I really did. And that's not why I'm staying. I'm staying because of the shifts and because of the richness that's happening inside the way I look at life. And like Charlie was saying, this economic system is based on separation and competition. And that is deep inside of our being and our cells and our mind and our thinking. And that this flower is an opportunity to move into cooperation. And when we move into that space of cooperation, we support this tipping point of consciousness on the planet. So it's really about participating in something far more powerful than receiving the money. And then you get the money, which is like the craziest part, like I've received $4,000 in gifts, and then I'm staying in that cycle, but it almost just becomes the cherry on top, which I thought it was the whole point of me doing it. I'm realizing it's just the cherry on top. So I can't say enough about it, but I want to thank you, Anna, and our other newbie here, Donald. Thank you for just exploring and keeping an open mind, and you're supported fully in your inquiry and your exploration of this. And to all those that are already on the journey, I just want to acknowledge all of us here today, Fiona and Andrea and Charlie and Mariah and Amy and Angela and anybody else that I'm leaving out. Thank you for journeying. And so we're just invited to place our hands on our heart and just taking a moment to feel the beat of your own heart. And noticing as you're feeling the beat of your heart, noticing just what you hear. What you see, even behind the closed lids of the eyes. What you can smell. What you can taste. Noticing what you feel, the temperature of your skin. Becoming aware of your beingness. And I just want to close with a blessing that each person on this call, may you experience the joy and the depth of your being. May you get to experience your being feeling freedom, true inner freedom, true sovereignty. May you get to experience truth, real truth. May you get to experience peace of mind, deep peace of mind. And may you get to experience the love, the deepest, deepest love that is vibrating in every cell of your body. The essence of really who you are. May you get to experience. I believe we came to planet Earth to get to experience life. May all of us get to experience ourselves in life in us. And let's just take a big inhale. Releasing out anything that we can let go of. And one more inhaling. Calling in what it is that we wish to call in. And planting like a seed in our heart an intention as we leave this call today. And as we exhale, let's exhale that intention out into this call, magnifying it out as we magnifying it out into the world. Exhaling on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And as we say in the lineage I'm a part of, the Kundalini Yoga lineage, Satnam, truth is my essence. So I bow to each of you and to the truth inside of you, Satnam, and thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, Alice. Love you so much. Satnam, everybody. Have a wonderful day. I will
Bye.
be putting this recording in the group chat, and you can take it and use it how you will. All right. Have a wonderful day. Nice to meet you.
Nice to
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Bye.
Bye, bye, bye. Love you all.